love it. I love what I do. If you don't get up in the morning and think, whoopee, I'm going to work, you're in the wrong job. I always wanted to work with horses, but my father told me I had to have a proper job. And as far as he was concerned, there were only two proper jobs. One was a doctor and one was a lawyer. So I ended up becoming a lawyer. I wasn't terribly keen on it. I sort of gravitated towards horses again because I specialised in the law relating to horse and rider. About 25 years ago, I came into a little bit of money and thought, I don't want to do this anymore. So promptly came home and told my husband that I was going to give up my very well-paid job with my company car and boober and everything, and I was going to go back to university and I was going to aim to be a veterinary physiotherapist.
How did you take it?
Very bravely, I think. I went to Bristol Vet School and I did a PhD there in equine biomechanics. And then I trained to be a veterinary physiotherapist. I only intended to work with horses. Wherever there are horses, there are dogs usually. So it was very often I would say, well, while you're here, can you look at the dog? Did some more work looking at dogs. And I do a few dogs. I suppose still about 90% of my practice is horses, but I do some dogs. And my hobby is working and training gun dogs. So I get a lot of gun dogs, so I've got a rather specialist, gun dog physiotherapy practice, because gun dogs are athletes, like horses are athletes. 20 years ago, I should think the majority of vets would have wanted me, burnt at the stake as some sort of witch, because, I'm not a vet, what do I know about animals? But I think they're beginning to understand now that the prognosis for the animal is much improved if it's gone on to have physiotherapy post-surgery or post-injury. If you're dealing with sports horses, it's like with any athlete. No human athlete would dream of competing without the input of a physio. Riders and trainers are beginning to understand that now as well. And with Sarah and Skip On that we saw earlier on, there is no way that he would have got to the level that he has without, regular physiotherapy input, because he simply wasn't capable of doing it. And Hayjack, the racehorse, if I put him back into racing now, he would break down again, he would be injured again, because I have to correct the way he stands and the way he moves. And if you do that with sport horses, you give them that little extra edge, that little bit that is the difference between winning and coming 10th, or competing and getting injured. And I look back on animals that I've treated, and it is very rewarding. It is a very satisfying job. There are downsides. There are horses that, however hard you try, you can't get them right. Horses like Hayjack, who you can't it's not a quick fix. You have to have a complete treatment plan, because by the time Hayjack goes back into racing, I will have treated him every week for a whole year. It's having a plan, starting out with a very damaged horse, coming out at the other end with a horse that's fit, with a horse his posture is good, with a horse that's, a better athlete, because he was winning despite his problems. So how good is he going to be when we've sorted him? I mean, he's a Cheltenham horse. When he steps out onto the course at Cheltenham, then I'm going to be the proudest person in the world. Really, really pleased with that. Really pleased. Good boy.